Here come 3 more wonderful stories from Chapter 5 of the Crystal Collection. This chapter shares stories of 2020 hindsight, looking back with laughter. The first of these stories is titled Florence Nightingale, written by David Schwako. David is a man who hails from Manchesney Park, Illinois. As a young man, David was quite adventurous. He spent several months hitchhiking through Europe, viewing a long list that he had made of works of art and ancient artifacts that he wanted to see in person. After arriving in Rome, feasting his eyes on some beauties like the Trevi Fountain and the Pieta, David continued on. He was determined to get to Florence to see Michelangelo's famous The David. Arriving in Florence at night, it was already too late for him to enter a pensionaire. Too poor for a hotel, he spotted a cemetery with a row of shrubbery several feet in front of a high stone wall. He inched in between the two, well concealed from peering eyes, or so he thought. But early the next morning he was awakened by screaming sirens and police cars. People were standing outside, pointing in his direction and shouting. He thought he was about to be arrested, maybe even shot, but he was wrong. One smiling nun, in very broken English, was able to help him understand what all the ruckus was about. Did he ever get to see the David? Well, you'll have to read this story to reach its ironic ending. The second story preview on this video, also from Chapter 5 of Tales to Inspire the Crystal Collection, Stories of 2020 Hindsight, Looking Back with Laughter, was written by Frank Iannella of Boulder Creek, Colorado. The title of his story, Hitchcock Strain. When Frank was a young man, he was also seeking adventure, and he decided an overnight trip on the Inverness Express would give him just that taste of mystery and intrigue he was seeking. Fueled by images from Alfred Hitchcock's movie, 39 Steps, he began investigating the train and ended up trailing a distinguished British man, trying to remain invisible as he sneaked about in his white tennis shoes. But it didn't quite work out the way he planned. An element of paranoia can be found in most Hitchcock movies. Did you ever watch a rerun of The Lady Vanishes? Frank's real-life fantasy was eerily similar. The third story previewed on this video, again from the Crystal Collection, Chapter 5, a chapter of Looking Back with Laughter Stories, 2020 Hindsight, is titled Roof Over My Head. It was written by Alastair Henry, a man born in Scotland, raised in Lancashire, England. Another man seeking adventure. Alastair went to live with a small First Nations band in a remote location in Canada's Northwest Territory. Seeking a roof over his head, he got a lot less than he bargained for. Yes, it's true, he had his own room, but that room had no bed and no heat. He slept on the floor and awakened with teeth chattering like a jackhammer. To make matters worse, there was no indoor plumbing. Did you ever hear of a honey bucket? Kitchen facilities were also extremely limited. Alastair was getting dangerously thin, living on little more than rations of canned baked beans. "Why me, Lord, why me?" he asked. Alastair, be careful what you wish for. I hope you enjoyed these little previews, and if you did, I have lots more for you. If you go to my Facebook page, the URL is right up there for you to see. There are lots of them posted, and while you're there, it would be so nice if you would click that like button. Now I have an extra treat for you. If you go to www.TALES2INSPIRE.com and click on the word Gifts at the top of the screen, you can get a sampler book of 6 stories that have been published in some of the other Tales to Inspire books. It's absolutely free, and it's available to you for your e-reader as a Kindle or in PDF format.